some inbound and outbound winds going on. I don't see the super tight couplet that would tell me that we've got a large tornado there, but we're not discriminating. We are all under that risk of seeing some severe weather tonight, and the Weather Service is telling us that the storm there is capable of producing a tornado, and it'll go on, the warning here, until about 9:45. Let me show you once again. We've got flooding ongoing in Travis County. We've got flooding ongoing in Gillespie County. 3, 4, 5 inches of rain has fallen, and we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in Lee, Bastrop, Fayette, in addition to our tornado warning. So it's obviously going to be a rough couple of minutes here. You can see this storm just dropping almost out of nowhere. It was coming from the west, and let me slow this down. I like to really get you a nice slow view on this, and I'll put this into motion with the arrow, and watch this vicinity here. All of a sudden, in a matter of minutes, this storm erupts just to the east of 183 in Caldwell County, and then starts to move toward Bastrop, and now it's taking more of a bit of a turn to the south. So we've not finished. Well, we are not finished with these storms, although the heavy rain may have stopped in Travis County. In Bastrop and Fayette County, I need you just to get away from windows. I need you to get the lowest level of your home. This could potentially be a dangerous storm. You're not going to want to try to outrun it in your car. You're not going to want to try to outrun it in your truck. Even if you're in the interior room of your home, cover yourself up with a blanket or a sleeping bag or one of those mattress foam toppers. Give the kids a bike helmet or put one on yourself and offer some protection against head injury. You're not going to be able to see this tornado. It is raining extremely hard. These storms have a history of producing rain rates at 6 inches per hour, and that's what dropped 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in and around the area. And we're going to deal with this. This is a big one here. Although we're not seeing a super indication that there is a tornado with the storm, this is radar indicated. And well, there you go. You see these little spinny things? That's just the marker that where the Weather Service is telling us there may be some sort of rotation within these storms. So we watch them for that rotation, and we watch them for the possibility that we're going to continue to see that rotation as we go through, well, I guess as we go through a while here, 9:45. So I can give you an indication that this storm is near the Smithville area. It is warned as of 9:17. So the warning is ongoing, and the warning took effect then. Large hail is also a possibility with this storm, and the hail markers here, you can see, I have a hail track here, I believe. Yeah, I do. In and around Smithville, there you go. Quarter-size hail, widespread. That's nickel size just to the south and east. But that's the threshold to get a warning for severe thunder. And we've got 2 areas within that storm just to the south of Smithville that are indicating that quarter-sized hail. Wider view, this is what the radar looks like. And the strongest storm in town, Bastrop and Fayette County line. It does look a bit weaker over the last, maybe 1 or 2 scans, but the storm is obviously a major player there. The winds are probably in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range, and we know we have the hail, and the radar is indicating there could, again, stressing could be a tornado. If you're heading on Highway 71 toward LaGrange, you got to pull off and you got to get some areas between you and these storms. Maybe a big box store that's open, maybe something off the side of the road. If you're in a mobile home and you're still downstream of the storm, say south of Smithville but north of LaGrange, get yourself into some sturdy shelter. And if you're in a home with a couple of floors or in an apartment building with a couple of floors, get to the lowest level now. This is a seek shelter now type of situation. We've got team coverage covering these storms and the earlier storms. Adelie Rowe is with us, and she's got more now.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on, as we mentioned, all of those flash flood warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, but the most important is that tornado warned storm into Bastrop County. So as we go ahead and take a closer look at what's going on the radar, you can see all those showers, all those storms, lots of lightning. So make sure that you are staying weather aware and get inside. Now is the time to take that shelter of that tornado warned storm. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. So this is just to the south and to the east of Bastrop, right around the Smithville area. So there's a lot of instability here. You can see this is probably where the hail is falling as well. As Scott mentioned, this is not the time to go outside and try to take a picture of this tornado. Again, it is radar confirmed, and with all of this rain, visibility is very low, and the last place you want to be is by a window. And make sure you're taking these just as seriously as you would a ground confirmed storm. And straight line winds can also be very dangerous, with some gusts of about 60 miles an hour possible, and also that quarter-sized hail. So now is the time to get inside the most interior room of your house on the lowest floor. Grab some blankets and pillows, put them over you, maybe go into a hallway or a bathroom. As Scott has said, make sure that you're protecting your head in case there is that tornado on the ground, and that flying debris can be very dangerous as well. So stay inside and hunker down. So right around the Smithville area, as we're going ahead and taking a look at correlation coefficient, you can kind of see there could be a little bit of an inflow area just to the east of Togo. So again, if you live in the Togo area, Kovar as well, Smithville, along Highway 95, Highway 71. Now is the time to take shelter as this continues to move to the east. You could be affected in the Plum area, Lena as well. So make sure you are taking this seriously and staying safe. Taking a look at velocity, there could be a little bit of rotation again, kind of lining up where the correlation coefficient was to the south of Togo, to the north of Kovar. So if you live in any of these areas, make sure that you are taking a shelter. If Smithville sounds familiar to you, if Kirtley sounds familiar to you, now is the time to be taking that shelter, because we have this tornado warned storm, and it's going to be lasting until about 9:45. So looking at that sweeping radar, there's a lot of instability. We've got another strong storm as we look towards Gillespie County. That one not warned, but it is warned for flash flooding. Flash flooding ongoing with that warning in Williamson and also Travis. But as we look over towards Bastrop, that's where we do have that severe warned thunderstorm. We've even got some white showing up on the radar. So definitely some hail, some strong straight line winds, and potentially a tornado on the ground. So again, make sure that you're staying safe right around the LaGrange area as this continues to push to the east. So stay safe, stay weather aware. We're going to continue to keep an eye on this and bring you that team coverage. I'm tossing it back to Scott.
All right, Adelie, thank you. We're on the air here doing extended weather coverage tonight. We have had flash flooding in Travis County. We've had flash flooding in parts of Gillespie County. Now we have a potential tornado situation in both Bastrop and Fayette counties. Let's get to the maps. I'll show you all that and plenty more, unfortunately. Williamson, Travis, and Gillespie counties all under flash flood warnings. There were reports of 20, 30 cars up 183, the Duval area, that were stuck, and at least one, perhaps, water rescue there. In Bastrop and Fayette counties, they had originally issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and it was upgraded to a tornado warning. The strongest storm we have going on is that one right there in the center of your screen. And just like before, I'm going to slow down my radar loop, which I like to do when we have these nasty storms. And you can see how it was sort of out of nowhere, out of parts of Caldwell County, then up toward the Bastrop area. But just before it got to Bastrop, it starts to do a little right turn and heading towards Smithville now. Now, we know we have hail likely the size of quarters, perhaps as large as golf balls out of this, and it appears as if, even though the storm may be weakening a bit, it is still an extremely powerful thunderstorm. We are watching for what may be a storm that drops a tornado. And that's why the National Weather Service issued that warning. The velocity mode shows us wind going into the radar here, wind going out of the radar here, and it's where they are sort of bumping up against each other that we could have some action. The storm, the way it looks now, does not appear as if it's going to intensify in the next, well, it hasn't intensified in the last scan. If you look closely here, the Weather Service is indicating two distinct storms. There's two cones here. And if you check out this southerly cone, it's telling us that it could be in the LaGrange area just before 10:15. The maximum hail size is 2.8 inches. That's large egg size, near tennis ball or baseball sized hail. Up to the northern storm here, 2.7 inches. That one is going to be over Smithville here momentarily and a little later in LaGrange. Don't worry about the precipitation rate. You're going to get heavy rain, but it's not going to rain for an hour, so that's not worth talking about. But 10:15 roughly for LaGrange if it holds together. Two storms that are bringing what appears to be the potential for a tornado. Let's zoom it out. We still have ongoing rain in Gillespie County. We still have some ongoing lighter rain in Williamson and southern Travis County. We've got some action in Burnett County, but the only storm of interest as far as severe weather goes right now is this one in the center of your screen near the Smithville area. I'm happy to say the center of the storm is moving away from Smithville, a little more rural land just west of LaGrange in Fayette County, but it is still a powerful storm, and it's along Highway 71. That's a major road between Smithville and LaGrange. A lot of folks take that on the way to Houston, and a lot of folks just live out that way, but they have to take the road to get through. Kirtley's a fairly stout little town there, and Plum in the vicinity as well. If you're in the path of this storm, I just want you to get away from the windows and get into the lowest level of your home. This is not a tornado outbreak. This is not likely to be an F4 or an F5 tornado. Nevertheless, a Category 0, an EF0 or EF1 can do pretty potent damage to an outbuilding or a barn or your home, the roof, shingles, things like that. And it certainly can topple a tree, and that tree can go right through your house. And it certainly can be something where debris is getting flown around at 70 or 80 miles per hour. And if you have something outside, some metal or some wood, and you try to run out and do something, that debris is going to go through parts of your body or your land as far as a house or a window. That's why you got to stay away from those windows, because they could shatter and the glass would be all over your home. Let me put some of these storms back into motion for you, and you can see how this is still a big thunderstorm moving through the Smithville area. Probably be out of Bastrop County here in 15, 20 minutes, but Fayette County, it's going to stay with you. This is a storm that developed quickly, but is not likely to end quickly. It is dropping torrential rainfall. I can show you the STP. We've got widespread 3, 4, 5-inch rains, and just here, if I put the arrow on to show you, right here in Bastrop County, we had almost nothing a little while ago, and we're pressing up about an inch, inch and a half of rain. We're on the air over the news that would usually be on at this point, showing you what is a tornado-warned thunderstorm, a tornado storm, tornadic potential thunderstorm. If you come back on camera here, that would allow me to reset that map, please, in the booth. Tornado warning is in effect for both Bastrop and Fayette counties. Right now, this storm is on the tornado issuance until 9:45. 9:45 is the live time for this. They're keeping that warning up. I'm reading from the Weather Service. They've canceled the thunderstorm warning, but they're going to continue the tornado warning, and they're monitoring for what happens downstream, of course, in Fayette County. So, flash flood warnings in Gillespie, flash flood warnings in Travis, flash flood warnings in Williamson County, and a tornado warning in Bastrop and Fayette counties. Adelie Rowe, my colleague, is here. We've got team coverage on this. Adelie, what are you seeing?
So if you live in Bastrop or Fayette County, now is the time to be taking shelter with this tornado-warned storm. And we've all been seeing these heavy downpours, lots of lightning, but this is the strongest storm in our viewing area right now. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at that. Here's all of that lightning I was talking about, very heavy downpours. This red here in Travis County into Williamson and Gillespie, that's flash flood warnings, and those are ongoing as we've been seeing quite a bit of rainfall, lots of lightning, lots of hail. Straight line winds have been our main concern, but now we've got the potential of rotating ones, a potential tornado, maybe even on the ground in Bastrop and moving into Fayette County. So here's a closer look at it right now. So Smithville, if you live there, now's the time to be taking shelter. Moving towards LaGrange, we've got this potential tornado, this ongoing tornado warning. It's going to be going at least through these next 5 minutes, and then we'll see if it is extended as it continues to move into Fayette County. So if you live, or if you're on the road through Highway 71, 77, close to that intersection, make sure that you are not in your car, that you're not in your mobile home, that you are in a sturdy structure where you can take shelter. It's a good idea to maybe grab some blankets if you have motorcycle helmets or bicycle helmets. I've even seen some people put pots and pans over their heads. You definitely want to protect your head and protect your family. So get into the most interior room, lowest floor. Again, this is around the Smithville area, moving towards LaGrange from Bastrop into Fayette County, and it's going to be lasting at least over these next 5 minutes. And don't go outside and try to look at this. Number one, it's night, and number two, just check out how much rainfall there is. You're not going to be able to see anything but rain and lightning, and we could have debris that come crashing through that window. That's exactly where you do not want to be. So make sure that you're in your safe place right now, and that is for Bastrop and into Fayette County. So taking a look at correlation coefficient, not seeing anything standing out to me extremely. Same story with the velocity, but that doesn't mean that it's not on the ground, right? You could still have, as Scott mentioned, a weaker tornado, but even a weaker tornado can be doing quite a bit of damage. So make sure that you're taking shelter. Again, this is from the LaGrange area, Smithfield area, in Bastrop and Fayette counties. Get in your safe place right now. We've got a lot of rain, a lot of lightning. Taking a look at that sweeping mode, I've removed the lightning for you so you can just see how much instability there is, how much rainfall there is. We've got pinks and whites, so definitely some strong straight line winds. The hail threat is there, and the tornado threat is there. So make sure that you're staying weather aware, getting in your safe place. Places like Kirtley, Plum, Stellarlina, all of you, take shelter right now and stay safe and stay weather aware. And again, we've got a lot of lightning with these storms, a lot of instability. possibly some rotation. I'm not seeing a whole lot of indications for that. And as Scott has said, I'm kind of agreeing that it's losing a little bit of organization, a little bit of instability, but still very strong storm. And we've got that tornado warning, and it's going to be lasting at least through these next few minutes. Looks like Scott has a potential update. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to him.
All right, Adelie, thank you. It does appear as if this storm is going to continue for a while, but the tornadic signature on the storm is no longer there. So, not saying it's not going to drop a tornado, not saying it's not a dangerous storm, but in about officially 2 more minutes, the National Weather Service is going to move this from a tornado warning situation to a severe thunderstorm warning situation. Don't get me wrong, there is some large hail, likely golf ball size, coming out of this storm. Let me show you that real quickly here. Take Max 1 for me. Thank you, in the booth. There's the tornado warning, and the original expiration is 9:45. There you see it, and that is going to be the expiration that we continue with. Radar looks like this across the region. Still raining lightly in North Austin, Williamson County. Still got some showers in parts of Gillespie County. But the storm of record that we're dealing with is moving out of Bastrop and moving toward Fayette County. A bit weaker, yes, but don't get me wrong. This storm has the potential to bring some very heavy rain. And I'm going to pop off the radar and pop on the hail scope. And this is what the radar is seeing when it comes to potential hail out of this storm. There's golf ball sized hail in western Fayette County. There's some quarter sized hail as well just to the south. And you really only need quarter size to trigger the warning. Golf ball size is way bigger than you need to get the warning. It does look like the hail for the most part is south of 71, Highway 71. So at least folks who are driving either toward the west or toward the east may not encounter the hail, but they are certainly going to encounter some very, very gusty winds and torrential rainfall. This is the same type of storm that dropped 4 inches of rain in northern Travis County and another 4 in parts of Gillespie County. 9:44 on my clock here. We're waiting about 1 more minute just to be official that this storm has expired, and I can tell you that it has officially expired now. So we're in a severe thunderstorm warning situation. We are in a rain situation, potentially a hail situation, and the way it looks right now, we are going to monitor this. We've got team coverage with you. Adelie Rowe and myself will be back along with the news team in just a couple of minutes.